President Trump and his message to American voters. Some critics are blasting the president for focusing on immigration rather than the economy on the campaign trail. Remember 2 years ago, though, a lot of the same voices slamming then-candidate Trump for visiting key battleground states like Michigan, Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin in 2016. We all know how that turned out. Along with our next guest, Sean Spicer is a former White House press secretary and American First Action spokesperson. Mr. Spicer, thank you so much for joining us.
Of course. Good afternoon.
So it is interesting to me because you do hear a lot of people telling the president these past couple days how to do marketing. And you got to wonder if they know better because the economy is a really positive message, or if he knows better, you think?
I think he's got a proven track record of knowing better. And you saw that, you pointed it out really well. Last cycle, there were states like Pennsylvania, Michigan, Iowa, Wisconsin that they told us we had no chances of winning. It was his gut, not just to go there, but where to go, what to say, and when to say it. And he was right. And he's shown over and over again over the last few years that he has a natural understanding of what motivates people, what messages sell. And he's shown it. I mean, what's gotten lost in this discussion, Melissa, is obviously there's a lot of talk about whether or not Republicans keep the House or not. But these traditional, for presidents in their first term, not only do they lose just over 30 seats, they also lose an average of 5 seats in the Senate since the 1980s. What that means is we're now talking about the Senate picking up seats on the Republican side. That's because what this president's done politically, where he's gone, what he's saying. A lot of the races that we're now talking about Republicans leading in or being extremely competitive in weren't that way a few months back. It was because of the president's actions that have put him in play.
You know the Democrats' talking points, though. They say that this is all about suburban women. They are bothered by the conversation about the border and the caravan, that Democrats paint that rhetoric as racist, and when he's out there doing it, it just fuels that fire, and it turns off people who might come out and vote for the Republican but are kind of on the fence.
But look, I get the talking points, and I know what people say, the critics say. But look at the evidence. You look at early voting, and in most of the key states that are battlegrounds right now, Republicans are actually leading in early voting in most of those states. You look at Republican intensity. It's at a historic high. This president's party approval rating by party is among the highest in any modern president's by either party. So I know that you've got vocal critics on the Republican side that don't like some of the style that this president employs. But the reality is that the results, both policy-wise and politically, say a different story, tell a different story.
How similar do you think it is to 2016 in the idea that people, you know, there were sleeper Trump voters who were quiet, whispered, quiet, whatever they want to call it, Trump voters who didn't want to go out and tell people? Do you think the phenomenon is about the same size? Do you think it's mostly gone? What do you think we'll say about that this time around?
Yeah, well, obviously, I mean, there's a little bit of a difference because that time, A, he was actually on the ballot, and B, you're running a national election. This time, it's almost a proxy election in some of these battleground states. So in some of these Senate races, it's the same. But I think there's a little more willingness for people because they're not necessarily voting for Trump. They're voting for a senator or a governor or a House member, so they can say that they're voting for that person. But I think you're on to something we'll find out tomorrow. How many people traditionally don't necessarily vote in a midterm that came out or haven't been as public in their support for not just the president, but for the Republican policies, have kept it quiet and showed up to vote.
Interesting. Sean Spicer, thank you so much for your time. Appreciate it.
You bet.